All right, let's get right into it. We need to talk about something, a bit of a puzzle, really. Something that, if we're honest, a lot of us probably deal with. And that's this weird gap between saying we care about the planet and what we actually do.
I mean, really think about it for a second. You probably agree that climate change is a huge deal, right? We all want cleaner air, healthier oceans, the whole 9 yards. So why is it so incredibly hard sometimes to just make the green choice?
Well, there's actually a name for this. Researchers call it the value action gap. And believe me, it's not just about recycling bins. A perfect example? Coca-Cola Life. You remember that one with the green label. The company did all this research and people said, yes, we want healthier, more natural soda. But then, what happened when it actually showed up in stores? Crickets. Sales were a total disaster. It's just a classic case of what we say we want versus what we actually do being two totally different things.
So, if we're going to solve this mystery of our own inaction, we need to start looking for clues. And the very first clue, well, it's all about how you, personally, see the world in terms of what's fair and what's not.
And this leads us to this fascinating idea called justice sensitivity. Now, this is basically a core part of your personality. It's pretty stable. It's not really about whether you notice injustice. Most of us do. The real question is, how deeply do you feel it? And this is the important part, whose side are you looking at it from?
So you've got two main ways of looking at things here. First, there's the pro-self or victim lens. This is when you're super sensitive to injustices happening to you. You're worried about getting the short end of the stick. And that fear, it can actually make you throw your own moral standards out the window just to protect yourself. But then you have the pro-social lens. This is all about focusing on injustice happening to other people. It doesn't matter if you're just watching or if you're benefiting from it or even causing it. This view is tied directly to things like empathy and feeling a sense of social responsibility. Okay, let's get to our second clue in this puzzle. And this one is all about the sneaky, clever little excuses our own brains cook up to let ourselves off the hook.
It's called moral disengagement. You know exactly what this is. It's that little voice inside your head, the one that whispers, it's fine, just this one time, or yeah, but this is a special situation. It's basically the mental gymnastics we do to go against our own values and still sleep at night.
The official term is cognitive restructuring. Sounds complicated, right? But all it really means is that we rewrite the story in our heads to make ourselves the good guy. We just tweak the details a little bit so that doing nothing, or even doing something we know is wrong, suddenly seems totally okay. It's an unbelievably powerful little trick.
And here are some of the greatest hits, the classic mental loopholes we all jump through. You got denying responsibility, like, hey, one plastic bottle isn't going to end the world. Then there's minimizing the consequences. It's not that bad. And my personal favorite, advantages comparison. Well, what I'm doing is nothing compared to what those giant corporations are doing. Come on, we've all been there, right?
All right, so we have our two big clues, the lens we use to see justice and all those mental excuses we make. So what happens when you put them head to head? What did the science actually find? Which one is the real predictor of whether we even intend to do the right thing? And the answer is, wow, it's not even close. Just look at this. Moral disengagement, making those excuses, isn't just a small thing. It is by far the biggest, most powerful roadblock. Our habit of letting ourselves off the hook absolutely crushes our desire to do good. It's a much stronger negative force than any of the positive forces are. This really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got moral disengagement and that poor me victim lens. Those are pulling you away from taking action. So what's pushing you towards it? It's that pro-social view, caring about others, and, get this, actual emotions. Feelings like guilt or even a genuine sense of pride in doing the right thing. Those are the things that actually fuel change. Okay, so that's the story of our intentions. But let's be real, that's only half the battle. How do we get from just meaning to do good to actually, doing it? Well, the research found a really clear path, like a chain reaction. Step 1. It all begins when you change your point of view and start to see yourself as someone who benefits from climate injustice, or maybe even contributes to it. Step 2. That realization sparks a really strong emotion. Specifically, guilt. And then step 3, that feeling of guilt is the rocket fuel. It directly powers a much stronger desire to act differently. So here's the absolute key takeaway. Forget the charts and the abstract numbers for a second.
This is all about connection. It's about making the injustice of climate change feel personal. The moment we accept our own part in the whole system, that's when we unlock the very emotions that are the real engine for change.
Now, I know this can all sound a little bit like a psychology lecture, but stick with me, because understanding this stuff has huge, real-world consequences for how we actually get people, including ourselves, to take action on climate.
So why should you care about all this? Well, for one, just knowing that these mental traps exist is the first step to not falling for them anymore. And on a bigger scale, it shows us that if we really want to inspire change, we have to stop just throwing data at people. We have to start talking about climate change as an issue of justice, an issue of fairness. That's not just some political talking point. It is a powerful psychological trigger. It turns an abstract problem into a personal responsibility, and that's what taps into the emotions that actually make us want to act. So, I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. We've just uncovered all the sneaky excuses our own minds use to let us off the hook. So now that you know what they are, which ones are you going to stop making?